Welcome back to Houston Life. For brain injury patients or stroke survivors, learning to live again requires a different set of skills.
For more than 20 years, the Challenge program at TIRR Memorial Hermann has been helping clients and meet and exceed their personal recovery goals. Here with a closer look at how it all works is speech-language pathologist Veronica Garcia-Lechuga and TIRR patient Danto. Al, you've got a crazy, phenomenal story. I want to start with you because at first when we talk about this program, you weren't ready to jump quite into it. Why? And then what changed your mind?
Yeah, well, my daughter changed my mind. She's a physical therapist. She was familiar with the Challenge program, but I went through a lot in a short amount of time. I've been healthy all my life, and then I was having some blurry vision. I teach at Rice, so I chalked it up to grading about 100 papers in December. It turned out I went to my doctor, and our doctor said, "Looks like you have a cataract." So they took the cataracts out, and they said that wasn't it. There's something else. And so they did an MRI. When they did the MRI, they found a tumor had grown, and it was pressing against my optic nerve. So they referred me to a neurosurgeon, went in, and he said, "Look," he said, "we'll be able to get that out." He says, and I said, "I do it all the time." I said, "Yeah, as long as you don't sneeze."
Wow.
So they removed it. It took 2 8-hour surgeries, 8 days apart. A friend of mine who's a doctor, he said, "Wow," he said, "the doctor was in your head for a whole series of Yellowstone, 16 hours." But I got out, I came through, I came out, I was actually getting ready to go in the TIRR program, and then I had some real bad chest pains. And my daughter came over and she said, "Dad, your blood pressure's dropped, but your heart rate's through the roof." She said, "There's something going on." And so she called an ambulance, and I said, "No, just call Dr. Joe, I'll be fine. We'll lay here for a while." She said, "No, we're taking you in." So I went in, and they discovered I had a saddle embolism, and I had a blood clot from being in the hospital for so long with the tumor and going through the surgery. So they said they had to decide to either go in for emergency surgery or put me on life support. And they decided they put me on life support for about 36 hours, and they came in and they were able to remove the tumor, take it back out, but they put me back on life support. So I stayed on life support for 13 more days, and then I started going to kidney and liver failure, and they said, "We have to get you off of life support." And they got me off of life support. Fortunately, I came out of it. And then from that period, I was on kidney dialysis. I thought I was going to have to go on permanent kidney dialysis or kidney transplant. But they did a treatment. They said, "We're going to do a shock treatment. We're going to basically force your kidneys to start working." They took me off of fluid restrictions. So my whole life came down to being able to pee. So I was able to. I got through it, and I came out, and that was about the low point. I'd lost 38 pounds. I've been in the hospital for 65 days, 13 days on life support after being on 3 days before the surgery. And then I started the program at TIRR.
Al, you have
Wow.
been knocked down over and over. I mean, that makes my head spin. I can't even imagine what that was like to go through. Veronica, you're a speech pathologist, and TIRR, we were just chatting during the break. We're so lucky it's right here in our backyards. People come from all over the world. Oftentimes after a life-changing event like an injury or a stroke, people think about the physical body being able to start functioning again. But what we overlook so many times is the brain functioning and the speech and all of that. Talk about Al's recovery and why this program is so critical to help people get back to life.
Well, for one, as soon as I did the case history and being able to look at all of the medical complications, one important thing that I also noticed is that he's a professor at Rice. He wants to get back to teaching. And so, as we know, everything we do requires brain work. Something like being a professor, to me, it's at the highest caliber of
Extra brain work.
Yes. Having to plan, having to organize. It's not just up there going up to teach, being a professor, but so many intricacies that are involved with teaching. And I knew that we had to work hard to get him back to where he wanted. One thing about Al is being a natural athlete is that, okay, let's just do it. Hurry up, I'm ready to go back to work tomorrow, the next day. And teaching Al to slow down and definitely pace himself, and definitely trying our best to get him back to the level where he can go back to teaching and going back to his busy, regular life with his family.
So Veronica, can you tell us about how you customized the Challenge program for every patient?
Yes, most definitely. Because Al is a professor and a successful professor at that, and so many business ventures, we knew that we had to get personal and provide personalized therapeutic activities, not just sitting him down in front of a computer and having him do computer work, but more so making it interactive. For example, for his last session, we had him do a presentation, sort of to mimic and simulate what work would be like, doing it while standing, because also not only are we working on his brain, but also physical endurance. So it's working on the entire body versus just specializing on just the brain. But he was able to do a presentation to other TIRR patients, and that was
So
great.
wonderful.
So he became their professor, their teacher.
That's so wonderful.
And what's incredible about TIRR, and I can't underscore this enough, is that Al obviously is a successful professor. No matter who walks through the door, and no matter what their injury or experience, you are able to take them under your wings and customize a program to get them back to life. So is anyone a candidate for
sure,
the program?
For sure, definitely. Anybody, as far as that's had a brain injury, some of the diagnoses that we work with are, of course, acquired brain injury, strokes, brain tumors. Strokes are the big ones that we're seeing right now, honestly. And then also, we've worked with patients with long COVID, because with long COVID, people do have the brain fog and lots of executive functioning deficits that those skills affect your everyday life.
Oh, and brain fog is real for sure. And these are some of the goals we're seeing on the screen, things that your patients are working on in the program.
Correct. Basically, everything that you need to do to take care of your home. I always say that everyone is a CEO. We all want to take care of our own lives and be able to manage our own lives. And that TIRR, that's what we strive to do, getting back to being a CEO.
Of your own body.
Of your own body, your
So
own
wonderful.
life. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Perfectly said. Well, Veronica Garcia-Lechuga, Danto, how are you doing today, by the way?
Right, I'm doing great. Doing fine. I've played ice hockey all my life, and I'm back to playing ice hockey, doing all those things and everything. So
That is great news.
That's
we love
great to
hearing
hear.
that.
a lot of
Yeah.
gratitude.
Well,
every day.
Thanks to you both for stopping by Houston
Yeah.
Life and for sharing your story, and thanks for all your work, Veronica.
Of course.
And in the meantime, if you would like more information about the TIRR Memorial Hermann Challenge Program, you can visit their website, memorialhermann.org/TIRR, that's TIRR, or you can give them a call, 713-222-2273.